This is the S&P 500 Spider ETF SPY one-day reading for March 6, 2024. It's currently January 18th, 2024, 2:40 p.m. Eastern Time. SPY at the time of this reading, $475.74. That's USD. And the shuffle video for the March 6th reading was created on January 8th, 2024 at 6:47 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this video here in the corner. The overall theme, we have an important resistance level on a multi-day scale that's highlighted. What's notable about this resistance is that we've met it many times before, failed to break through it many times before. Behavior around the highest high, we have a peak that we sell off from, pretty notably increasing with momentum as we move forward out of that peak. And then behavior around the lows for the day, we have bumping along resistance sideways, maybe breaking through, but the majority of the behavior will be bumping along resistance. I'm advised to trade around a decline to and through support and meet another support, and then their sideways rotation along that second support, but it is nullified. That worry card is nullified. The VIX indicates at some point there's a peak and then a decline off of that peak as far as the VIX is concerned. Before we go any further, though, I want to make sure that everybody's aware. If you want to get early access to all this information, it comes out roughly like a month ahead of where it comes out on the public on public YouTube, allowing for extra planning ability. It's really the only kind of analysis that you can do planning ahead with. But with that said, you can do that so here at our services, SO Meta Posts, early access to a post, click here to subscribe. Guys, we're running roughly a 98% average accuracy day after day after day, predicting the chart behavior by the hour with highs and lows throughout the day. We've been doing it for years. Just scroll back. 98% average accuracy. $29 a month, $249 for the year, gets you access to all of our public posts on YouTube way ahead of when they come out on YouTube, allowing you to plan ahead. So thank you to everybody that goes ahead and does that. Great way to support the channel. Much appreciation, and blessings to all my supporters. Let's get back into it. All right, so in the pre-market, we likely open higher, and then there's like a near overbought crest that we sell off from through multiple support levels into a low. And out of that low, right around the open, there's a rally into key resistance on a one-day chart, possibly multi-day chart in that first half hour. It's a pretty notable move into it, and then we decline from it with consecutively lower spikes up on the way down into a trough around noon or around 12:15-ish. There's a lot of price change there to the downside, and then it looks like probably to the upside because we have an important peak or crest around 1 o'clock, and there's a significant trade opportunity in the midst of the decline into that trough there around. Okay, so the short that you could have opened there on the 5th would be closed here. You cash out of it around 12:15 in the midst of that decline. Should be a pretty sharp drop there in that 12 to 1 o'clock hour. But be very careful, because there's also this move into an important peak around 1 o'clock, and then there's mixed behavior there. There's a cross-reading congruency there as well for a high. So it's possible that we're not far off from the highs or near that price level. We've got that truce card again there, again at the end of the day. Interesting. So I wonder if that's the same price level. But in any case, there's a mixed behavior between 1 and 2, where we do a decline from support, resistance to meet support. We reverse, go all the way back to that resistance, reverse, go all the way back to the support, creating like a sideways S within a channel. And then there's a prominent move between 2 and 3 to the upside, followed by a full retracement back down. 3 pokes through the same trend line in the last hour, followed by a sharp drop off of that third poke, taking us to revisit a support level on at least a one-day, probably a multi-day chart that we're revisiting. It was important on a multi-day scale. We're revisiting it there somewhere in that last half hour. And there's that truce price level. Look at that truce price level, truce price level. It's probably the same price level, because we're doing kind of like this sidewaysy behavior here. I think this peak may be for the following day, right? There's a peak here in the morning. Pretty mixed day altogether, but there's that day trade in the middle of the day where we got that trough. You could open up a long and close it at a peak, and around 1 o'clock open up the long in the midst of a trough around 12 o'clock, close it near a peak, and you probably have another opportunity to close it at that peak if you miss it. I wouldn't wait for another opportunity, but if you miss it, you probably do have another opportunity as far as a day trade is concerned. The whole purpose of the channel is to transmute some of the competitive energy of the stock market into goodwill. We do that by following the rule of karma for the channel. You go to the resources tab of our website, Tarot for Traders, and 5% of the profits from every profitable trade utilizing this information should be donated forward to one of these charities, or pick a charity of your choosing, as long as you're paying 5% forward, and then 5% should be sent back to the channel through one of these links. If you're international, you can use Wise, or you can use YouTube tips, and that leaves you at 90%. Make sure to spend that 90% out of love. As long as you follow those rules, you follow the rule of karma for the channel, the universe considers you an angel investor. It's going to send it back to you tenfold for following through. And that's SPY for March 6, 2024. Hit that like button if you like this. Most importantly, make sure to follow that rule of karma. You know where to go, you know what to do. Blessings to all my angel investors. I'll see you guys on the next one.